Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Press like and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's. Sit back and enjoy. As we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole and into the unknown.
Hello, welcome to today's show. I am joined by Science Bob and Lala Bright. Welcome.
Oh, we're happy to be back with you, Andy. We enjoyed the all-night thingamajig, but I got to tell you what, I don't know how your memory was, but we don't remember much of it.
No. I remember the beginning, the first 3-4 hours, a little bit in the middle, and then towards the end. And everything else in between is just a big blur of I don't even know what that was about.
It was fun. Everybody liked
It was. No, I did enjoy it. That was one of the easiest things I've ever had to sort out, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly thought it was going to take forever and it was going to go wrong and everything was just going to fall apart. But
It was great.
2 people couldn't make it. One had to go to hospital, to A&E.
Wow.
And I can't remember who or why the other one couldn't make it, but it wasn't like I can't be bothered or anything like that. It was something genuine. So, and his mum fell.
I would say you and we didn't have a proper introduction in the 24 hours, but it was fun.
No. Yes, it was. No, the other guy who couldn't come on, his mum fell and she had to go to the emergency room as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I hope she's all right.
Yes, I spoke to him the day after, and yeah, everything was all good. So,
Okay, great. That's good news.
Yeah. Yes. So nice to meet you, Bob.
Nice to meet you, Andy.
Yes.
Now, proper introduction done.
Yeah. Now it's a little bit more quiet, and we can hear each other. No offense to anybody. But
Oh, we're pretty laid back
It's
and
just-
neither of
yeah.
us are quiet.
So, we were chatting just before coming here about your 100 million trillion years of encounters.
Yeah. Where to
Oh,
start?
something like that. So, Lala, you've had stuff going on from as far back as you can remember, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I was pretty much born into it. My dad also.
Yeah.
So, I know with spirits, the first one I remember, I think I just turned 5, and our neighbor that we loved, we called Grandma Cheyenne. She passed away. We couldn't go to her funeral, but later on we went to go find her grave. And this grave in Baltimore, Maryland, it's got thousands of graves. It's huge, and
Right,
they didn't know
yeah.
where she was. And my parents went one way, and I just walked around. And I heard her say in my ear, "I'm over here." And I felt like someone led me to her grave, and I put my hand on it. And I said, "Here
Yeah.
she is." And my dad, he knew then that it was time to talk to me about what we can do and what we are. So, but UFOs, ever since I guess 3, I've always had a dream, the same dream. I'm in my backyard at night and a bunch of UFOs slowly fly over my head. And then I wake up, and a couple of years later, my dad was watching an alien movie, and I said, well, I know what they are. I dream of them all the time. And then years later, I found out I have an implant in my leg and abductions and, all this stuff. So
Later, she found out these dreams weren't dreams.
right.
There's too much memory to be a dream. That was the phrase that I got told yesterday.
It's true. It is. They want us to think it's a dream.
Her dreams are, I don't believe she has a dream that's not completely lucid. They're in color. She can manipulate them when she remembers to manipulate them. And it's just when they're dreams. But when they're not dreams, she can't manipulate them because it's being imposed on her by whatever's messing with her.
So do you have any recollection of what is that's contacting you?
I never have gotten to see their face. Either they're hooded or I just see from shoulder down and they have garb on. But it always sounds like a male voice. I remember one time I was laying on a table and they were doing surgery on my stomach, but with their hands. And it wasn't gory. It was just surgery without the blood for some reason. And I started looking around and I heard them say, "Don't let her stay." And then I woke up. And it was things like that. It's just weird. Now, in my waking life, they usually come as light, either shadow people or light people. It's always the shape of a human. Oh, some.
Yeah.
The orbs.
And orbs,
I want to remind you of the one female-looking thing that smiled when you lopped its arm off.
Yeah.
That sounded like fun.
There's this thing that. Okay, so there's something that bothers me in my dreams, and it has up and down slits in their eyes, which could be demonic or reptilian or I don't know, right? But it scared me, and my reaction was to cut its arm off in my dream, and it smirked. It liked that I did that. But see, the thing is, I know this sounds weird, but a couple years ago, I lost my mom, dad, and my son's father, my boyfriend of 15 years. And I do believe something, not a presence not good, had a lot to do with their deaths, just from all the crap that was happening.
And all of that in 18 months.
Yeah. And I woke up to
and her mother was murdered.
Yeah. All kinds of
shit.
stuff. So
yeah.
Can I say shit on here?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'll try not to. Sorry.
Yeah. I'd say I'd limit how many times I say it, but sometimes it's a lot more than none.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't mean to say this stuff so nonchalantly, but I try so hard to numb myself so that I don't feel it, and I just kind of spit it out, But yeah, so there's something going on. I don't know what.
When she talks freely about it, it disarms its ability to dominate her life. She does need to talk about it, but in the sense she's been talking about it, the fears that have ruled her life are receding into the past. That's been good to see.
Yeah, because you were saying this last time, but I remember some of the stuff you're saying now, that Lala needs to contact whoever and talk about it openly. Even write a book.
Which we're proceeding to do.
He wants,
Yeah. So are you going to write?
She's a brilliant artist, and I want her to do artwork for it.
See, there you go. There's a reason to do it, if nothing else.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, don't waste talent. I think is the best thing there, definitely. So, are you going to write the book together? Are you going to do 2 individual ones?
Not together.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like look, I'm 70. This is the last quarter of my life, and I feel like the entirety of my life, the good and the bad, has been preparation for the time we got together.
Can I just say, I would never in a million years have said you were 70.
Well, a lot of people think I'm not, but I am. I just turned 72 last week.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, I
And
hope I look that good if I last that long.
She looks 20, but she's 29. Well, maybe a little more than 29.
Oh, boy.
Wow. So, have you had many encounters where it's like intertwined the pair of you?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Okay, so all sorts of stuff happened here in the house, and every bit of it, my feeling and her saying, has been calming her down so she could accept greater increased occurrence of it. Okay, so
Yeah.
we went through all sorts of stuff, and then finally, a gray being, a tall one, walked right up in front of us, and she snapped a photo of it with my camera. And you can see the photo in our evidence on Facebook. It's a gray alien that's kind of almost smothered in smoke, but you can clearly see its head, its eyes, its chin. You can see the entire face. And after that, it communicated telepathically with her.
Yeah, it pretty much said that we need to get out of our ego selves and start helping more. They want to help us, but they want help in return. I still don't know exact. I guess it's soft disclosure.
Soft disclosure, they definitely want us to push. And that's what we're doing with all this evidence and going on these podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, for me, it's hard to understand exactly what they're saying. I'm so afraid that I'm going to mess up their message. So I always say, well, can you be, I'm a little dense, just be more, be more detailed. They literally, there was an orb that flew down. This is all on video. An orb flew down on the back porch, moved our heavy camera to where it wanted us to look. And then it went to a shape of a human, but a light human. And then it went back into an orb, flew off, and they started lighting up our neighbor's roof.
Across. So that video of the orb flopping down on our deck, you can hear it land on the deck. It gets really, really bright. And in the middle of the bright, you see the camera turn because you can see the gutter disappear and my telescope come into the frame. And after that, we left it pointed at that house, and they started flying stuff over the house and illuminating the roof.
So what color? Sorry, what color is the orb?
We can't tell because that camera's black and but most of the ones I have seen personally are either white or orange.
Right. Yeah, same. They're the colors that I see when I see orbs.
Yeah. We haven't, a lot of people, they like the blue orbs, but we haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen a blue orb.
See, I've heard, I don't know how true it is, it's obviously it's all hearsay, isn't it, that the blue ones are the ones that you need to avoid.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell you, being with Chris Bledsoe, he's seen them all, and he never has had a bad experience with a blue orb.
Ah, right, okay.
And so people can check out that part of my story because I'm the next to last incident in his book, UFOs of God. I'm the next to last incident in his book.
Right, I'll check that out. I'm sure I've got that book on. It's on Audible, isn't it? That one.
Audible and Kindle and paperback.
I've got that one. No, I was listening. I wasn't reading it. Skinwalker of the Pentagon. Don't know if you've listened or read that book. And
I've studied it in detail, and I have something up my sleeve working with them. So there you go.
Right. Well, that's a book where they mention about the blue orbs, and this blue orb goes into this guy in his arm, and then comes out the other side as he's driving down the road. And from that point on, the next 18 months is the worst 18 months anyone could ever experience. He was in hospital. He was literally on death's door. There's loads of stuff going wrong with him from pretty much the next day. And then I don't know if it's a vision or a dream or a visitation, but this being turned up. And then after that, everything started getting better again. Obviously, there's more to it than that, but that's a very, very short version of it.
I really feel that a lot of the things that Lakatsky funded when he was at DIA at Skinwalker Ranch was for the attainment of technology and weaponry, and they
Right.
didn't like it. And they got even.
Somebody wants to know how you found Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah,
How
I'm just going to
I
put that
Skinwalker
up as you mentioned
So
it.
I did not. I've not personally been to Skinwalker Ranch yet. That is possible in 2024. I have not been there yet, but Brandon Fugel and Eric Bard and I are in contact with each other.
What's the one
Oh,
you went
cool.
to, Leslie? What
Oh,
ranch?
Melinda Leslie is Bradshaw Ranch
Yeah.
with Tom
Yeah,
Tom Dongo's famous decades of exploration at Bradshaw Ranch led me and Melinda Leslie, who is a well-known experiencer, to go out there together, and we had experiences, saw
Yeah.
big footprints and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, wow. So have you heard, you probably have, it might be a stupid question. Oh, it's gone. It's in Rainbow Valley, just outside
return to
I
Phoenix.
say that all the time.
Stardust Ranch. That's it.
What is that?
Have you heard of Stardust Ranch?
No.
Where
That
is
was Robert Edmonds.
I'm sorry. Stardust Ranch. Yes, he is in contact with us and would like for the two of us to visit. We went on video with him on his
it?
channel.
To Ryan?
No, not Ryan. It's the Stardust Ranch guy.
Oh.
Yeah. She doesn't
Sorry.
remember. We've been on a lot. No,
But it's Robert Edmonds. He died beginning of last year.
Oh,
But
didn't
I
know
think
that.
it's his wife and or his son or son-in-law that's now working on it, doing all that. Because I spoke to her a couple of months after he passed. So,
Well, yeah, it must be his son because the son was the one that appeared with Osborne and his pal on the Discovery Channel show.
oh, Jack
The
Osborne.
guy was on with him.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm sure it's his son. But have you ever been to any of them ranches?
Oh yeah, I've been to Bradshaw Ranch.
Oh,
yeah,
you've been? Oh, sorry.
I walked around on it with Melinda Leslie, and we saw
Yeah.
stuff.
What was the energy like? How did it feel?
Oh my goodness. I was creeped out from the time we illegally crossed the fence until we got off the property, but I refused to let it push me off. And I saw shadow figures, lots of weird footprints, and Melinda and Tom Dongo and all her pals out there are seeing craft out there every night. And Beyond
Wow.
Skinwalker Ranch went out there and took a deeply highly capable ground penetrating radar and found a 50-foot wide tunnel proceeding from Bradshaw Ranch to where the deep underground military base is across the mountain.
Ah,
Oh yeah, Tom Dongo knows that story really well.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. And at the end of the tunnel, near the deep underground military base, it runs right into a concrete plant. So the concrete plant used to have a security fence around it and armed guards. So Melinda Leslie got curious, did a deep background search on the property, and it's owned by, Lockheed Martin.
Ah,
I used to live right next to them, and right next to them, in the middle between my house and them, it was an army base, right? Or
In Maryland.
in Maryland, my old house. And I saw all kinds of weird stuff. It was a gated place, but I always saw these huge white orbs, and they would follow behind the planes that landed, and then a helicopter would follow behind them. Or one time I was driving down the road, because it was literally like a block from my house, and I saw all these white orbs flickering in and out. And then I saw a helicopter, the government helicopter, following them, and they weren't going all around. They were like hovering in air, right? And then there was a different, I think a white helicopter off in the corner, and then two darker ones, but they stayed behind. And I kept following around for like an hour. And at one point, the helicopter got so low, I guess they noticed, I don't know, but they got so low, they pushed my car off the road. Sorry.
Yes, they turned their props full down, full RPM, and blew her and her friend off the road.
Awesome.
wow.
Which is illegal. It's illegal to fly.
It was just me in the car. But
Oh
anyway,
my God.
dude, in the helicopter, there was a guy standing in it, and he was holding it looked like this bolted down bazooka thing, and he kept pointing it at him, but I didn't see anything come out of it. It was weird. I don't know what it was, but I eventually
Could it be
learned how
some like frequency generator?
maybe.
Who
I've never
knows?
seen it before.
Who knows? Well, whatever it was not visible to the eye.
All kinds of weird stuff happened, but I lucky.
And after we moved in together, we were driving down US Highway 40 past Aberdeen Proving Grounds, and we were followed. The road is winding. We were followed right through the middle of her sunroof, right over the top of the car, 400 feet up, by the most perfect triangle you'll ever want to see.
Oh my God.
And then the helicopters came. The triangle UFO went poof, turned around and went the other way. She went through the median to turn around to follow it again, and it was gone. It had taken off lickety split beyond the horizon in 15 seconds.
Can I share one more thing real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Of
when I
course.
lived at the old house, and I was right by the Army base in Lockheed. I've never actually said this publicly because I still feel crazy saying it, but
Yeah.
I was parked and I thought it was like a small plane flying towards the Army base. But then, like, the wings started to flap, and this thing had a long tail. It looked like, what's that dinosaur?
Pterodactyl.
I'm not joking. It was and it flew into the airbase, and I left. I didn't know what to do. But I mean, I don't
But
know.
you know I've seen a pterodactyl, don't you?
No, have you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel so
Lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah.
I wish I could see one.
It was. I know 2 other people that have seen them as well. One other person seen it within 2 miles of where I had my encounter, but from the other side. So say I was facing east, they was facing west. Different time of day, and then there's both like a dark tan grey, like saddle colour. And this girl who'd seen one up on the northwest coast in the UK, hers was like a whitey, creamy colour.
Wow.
I wouldn't have believed it until I saw it. It was just
No, well, I thought I'd seen a dragon, and I've got the pictures on it. This is the view that I got from. Obviously, this is AI or CGI, whatever you want to call it. So that's a view that I got.
Yep.
Obviously, you can see that's a prop. You can see the strings and what have you. But it was like about 24 foot long, end to end, and about 16 foot wide, like wingspan.
Wow.
So it was that view, but looked like that.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, that looks more like pterodactyl because the little hands are on the front leading edge of the wing.
And that was the thing that got me. The 2 things that did it, the little hands. I know it sounds stupid when you open your mouth and say it, and then the diamond bit on the end of its tail.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if they're creating. Maybe they're creating this. Maybe they opened we have a friend, John Carpenter. He worked under Bigelow, and he said the government can create open portals. Maybe they came through there. I don't know. You know,
Could be. So how far did you say it was from where you used to live in Maryland? Because you said it was at near Lockheed Martin, wasn't it?
I used to live in near Baltimore, Maryland, and I lived about 1 block away from this place. And actually, we had a lot of tests. They did a lot of testing, so there was always like a bomb going off, and the windows would shake, and a lot of our neighbors passed from cancer, and I actually met someone. I was driving to Florida to visit my parents before they passed, and I went to a hotel, and the guy it was an older man working there, and he said he used to work at that base, and him and his wife got cancer. She passed, he survived and retired, but he said there's a man-made island behind the base aligned with a certain star, and he winked at me. I cannot find any information, but I know what he was talking about. They work with interdimensional aliens and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Bob, have you just shared a picture?
I have. I want you to show it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, you're okay.
This is the being that walked up on us in our backyard, and she said, "Give me the camera. Something's here." She picked it up and went click, and the thing above the being and to the right in the picture is an orb, not anything else. And then later that evening, they talked telepathically to her while she was in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I mean, what do you do when you see that stuff 6 feet in front of you?
It sounded like a bunch of bees.
And they sounded like a bunch of bees till they coalesced into a single deep male voice.
Really?
Yep.
That was weird, yeah.
I just want people to know this, and I got this with one of the highest end cameras you can own, a Canon EOS R6 with a lens that cost a lot.
Wow.
The people in your chat are so nice. They're like, don't feel weird. Everybody sounds a bit weird. Oh,
It's true. It's like, even now, I probably spoke about this 100 times, like when we're doing the channel and that. I don't know, everyone's probably heard it, probably 200 times. But when guys like you come on and you talk about it, it opens it up again, because it's not just I'm talking about because you've mentioned it, it's sharing an experience that's very similar to it or the next thing. And that's how I see it. So I'm not just doing it to keep banging on about it. It's to say I've had that encounter as well. Or a very similar one to it.
Share this one, please.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Okay, so this is the kind of smoke we get on our cameras all the time, and I want people to go get this evidence out of our folder, because if you look in this with details, this thing is full of faces, gray faces, just full of it. And the thickest part of the smoke is right above the house, across our backyard, where the craft show lights down from the sky all the time.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is just nuts.
Yeah.
I think wherever we live, I've always had activity, but here there's multiple different things here. It's active every night. It might not be super awesome every night, but there's always something that happens. It's nice that he is a scientist, retired CIA, because I would never thought to put up video camera. It's nice to have proof, and
Yeah.
All right, now I'm bringing up the craft we've got from our security cameras. This stuff is just. Let me present it.
Yep. If you put it on, I'll put it up straight away.
Yep. 1 second. And then I'm going to go through a few of them because this folder's full of them.
Yeah, that's cool. You ready?
Go for it. Believe this thing is, there's 3 different things here. One is in the upper left. We see that all the time. We have a fantastic one of that, which I'll bring up later. But it's a reconnaissance craft that we see all the time, the north or south of our home. And then one night, so that thing flashed, and that triggered my camera, and the camera took this picture. We zoomed in on it, and there's this cross and this other thing in the sky as a craft right over our neighbor's house to the north.
That made me think. And we have another one that's more of a cross, just a cross. And I thought, is that how religion might have started, with the cross? I don't know. No offense to everybody. I'm just saying.
When you first put that one up, before I put it up on screen, I thought, oh, it's a headstone. The first thing I thought of was a headstone.
That is kilometers away in the sky. That craft is huge.
There's different.
And so look, you see part of it's lit and part of it's dark. That's the sun showing on that part of it way up in the sky. And it's so far up there that even though it's night, this thing is up in the sun, and this part is not illuminated by the sun.
Right.
What's nice is that, so I never knew there were so many different shapes, UAPs, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
And so a lot of times my brain doesn't comprehend something and I want to just throw it away. But sometimes I'll post them, and we've had the same crafts as
Jimmy Blanchett.
Jimmy, our friend Jimmy Blanchett.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
got them like a year before.
Yeah, these little light craft he gets, she and he are sharing these light crafts all the way across the United States from the Southwest to the Northeast. So this thing here, you can see the pixelation. So it's pretty far away, but you can see that it's many pixels. And again, part of it's illuminated, part of it's in shadow. This is deep in the night. So this is illuminated by the sun, and this part is not.
And a lot of them have come back more than once. So I'll talk to them in my head or from my heart.
Yeah.
And eventually they come back at a different angle because I want to learn more about it. This was during the day.
This was daylight, and you can see this weird feel. Look, the camera's focused. That's not the issue. The thing is surrounded by some kind of weird field and put in this color out that our camera captures. This thing is weird.
And look, real quick. Okay, not the purple side, the other side. Up top is a little white dot on top.
Yeah.
So this ball on an arm has showed up on different types of crafts that we've gotten photos of. So this might be like an energy source, or it's something important to these things.
I don't know what it is. I can't.
Because you can, sorry, where that ball type thing is, you can clearly see.
Yep.
That it's a flat level, like horizontal.
Oh yeah, it has a horizontal arm.
With the dark bit, it's making it look like it's saucer shaped. But you can see as you go across to the left, it's more like, looks a bit like back of a tank or a Jeep.
Yeah, whatever it is, this is up in the sky, 40 degrees above the horizon in the daylight.
It was weird.
And I don't know what this is. That's not a very good one.
That wasn't a bad.
But this is the backyard. This thing flew across the backyard, and we're not illuminating it. It's daylight. Whatever this was as bright as it could be. And there's where whatever it is leading, and it just streaked across so fast, it just left a streak on the screen.
We have videos of portals opening up in our backyard at night. And so it'll be a black hole, and a bright light will swing around the circle and then shoot out of the hole and then just totally go away. So we have something going on.
Anyway, so I mean, I just wanted to give you a few pieces of evidence, and there are hundreds in our folders that people can go look at.
Yeah, they're just amazing. Because I know people take photos, and a lot of them you can't really tell. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of pictures that you can't really see anything on it. If I take a picture of something, if I can't see anything on it, I'll delete it.
Yep.
But you can clearly see that there's something going on. If you've got all that activity that's been going on for years, and you're getting followed by helicopters, planes, and moving you off the road.
Yeah, we had a helicopter fly over the house one night when we were on the back deck, and the security cameras caught it. But so we have that video, and but there were 3 videos. There was 1, 2, 3. The helicopter was in the middle. In the first one, we're talking, we're interacting, and the camera catches our voice. In the middle, we're silent, and the helicopter flies over. And the third one, we're back to talking, and the helicopter's gone. We have no memory of the middle one. And I had the video analyzed by Linda Thompson, who's a well-known researcher in the United States. And she did forensic analysis on the audio and says, I don't know what this is, but it's not a helicopter.
We don't even remember
and we don't remember.
Yeah.
What was it? We had lost time for however long it was over us. And none of our neighbors complained about it. None.
So do you think you were taken?
We have been, but I don't think we were then because it was too quick. You can see from the timestamp that's in the upper corner of the video that it happened very quickly.
But time's weird there too.
But I don't think time means that much to them.
No.
And they can take us. It looks like we're gone for a microsecond, and we might have lived a year while we were there. I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah. And then they bring you back, and it's. Well, because I was talking to someone about when you take and you come back and it's normally like a couple of hours or say between I don't know 45 minutes and 5 hours that you're taking, and I asked, has anyone had any accounts of them being brought back and it's been before the time they were taken?
That would be weird.
Mm.
I would have a hard time with that, but I believe it's possible.
Yeah.
I know while we've been living here, it's been a year and a half, I've woken up with a triangle bruise, and it's always the same part of my arm. And I don't bruise easily on my arms. I never have. But if I do get a bruise, it's going to be there for months. But
Yeah.
it was like a triangle bruise. It went away in 3 days. And then a couple months later, it was perfectly aligned dark dot circles, and in the center of each one was a white dot. Weird. It was just weird, and that went away in 3 days. I took pictures of all that. Grant Cameron, he talked about the triangle one in one of his events he went to, so that was validating.
I shared our favorite craft.
Yeah, I'll put it up now. I was just waiting for Lala to finish.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So look, we moved into this house, and we immediately started having paranormal experiences in the house.
Yeah.
The one that in this same folder this is in was a video of a security camera that we had inside the house and was pointed at our front door. So something walked through the hall, visible slightly on the camera as a disturbance, and clicked on the light at 2 something in the morning. And as it goes from dark to light, it goes from black and white to color. And then we hear clear as day on the video, "Hello, Xander."
Oh yeah.
And I'll let you what it is.
So Xander, Dave, my boyfriend of 15 years, we have a son named Xander. So that was him, and that was his voice too, because he always liked to joke around and sound like a radio personality. So we hello.
Oh, right, okay.
So that was his so it was nice.
So anyway, so we put up cameras inside and got orbs all over the place. So I says, well, wonder what we'll get outside. Maybe we can see them coming out of the house. And that's when we started getting this craft. And so this craft is hundreds of kilometers away. There's all sorts of geometry going on that I was able to compute. It's at least 100 kilometers away. This thing is huge. And look at all this detail you see. You can't even see, it's a little blurry, but that's because it's moving. But it's not really that pixelated. So it's just amazing that we see this stuff.
Can you show the other angle of it?
Yeah. There it is right there.
The same thing on a different.
That was 3 weeks later. So if you I want you to get your imagination that the thing on the right side of this was rotated and faced us before. So you're looking at the edge of it now, and and hang on, right down here is the glowing globe.
The ball on the arm.
Right down there is the glowing. And look, there's a triangle.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. Maybe another triangle, but that's a triangle, and here's this huge craft.
Yeah, I wish that would come back. Actually, it hasn't come back.
I don't know what that is. And this is you'll see this one, but you'll also see 2 more in the background. We have no clue what these things are. Just some kind of weird energy. Oh, and this is maybe the next one's the better one. No, it's not. Okay. We were out in our a field near our home, and Lala's just taking pictures. And up here you can see Cassiopeia. That's the flattened down Cassiopeia. And there were multiple of these things glowing, flying through there. And you can see it's illuminated. This is nearly dark, but it's illuminated. This thing was glowing, and Lala took a picture of it. But no, maybe this is the one I took. But never. Okay, just hang on just a minute. Let me find the better ones.
Have you ever seen a shadow person?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think they are? I don't know. I've seen them, but
I used to think that maybe they was. My first initial thought was, could they be like remote viewers, like transcending from one dimension to another? So you're not seeing the full dimension of them, so you're just getting part of what or who they are.
Mhm.
But then I've spoke to people that remote view, and they've said they don't think it is them. And then my next guess, because that's pretty much all it is could it be these souls that are taken for not doing good stuff, and then they're sent back to cause havoc on Earth?
This is so wild,
I
Andy.
don't know.
No, this thing right here is so wild. So the picture on the left,
Yeah,
Lala had a feeling. She says, please show up. And the pictures before it and after it were full of stars out of the park. So this is like the third or the fourth one in the series of 7 or 8. And she got this grid pattern on here. And we'll show you this hole. We'll show you, hang on one second. We'll show you this hole right here later.
yeah.
This hole right here. There's a craft coming out of that hole, which we will show you later. So we put this up on Facebook. And some lady from Michigan sent us a mail and email with this photo attached. She says, this we saw a year ago, and I saw all these similarities between mine and yours. And if people will look closely, that is a figure with 2 eyes, a mouth, a weird looking little chin with beard, and something in its little hand.
Machine elf.
There's a machine, whatever. Who knows what it is? But I mean, this stuff is just wild.
Yeah. It's like an evil version of SpongeBob without being that's, but he's got that square elongated head. Obviously it goes the other way, but
look at the 2 eyes, the nose, and the mouth. It's as clear as it can be if you stare at it for a minute. All right. Let me see. Is this the no, that's not. Let me go find something else clever that she wants me to show. Okay, here's the craft. This is the craft.
right.
Coming right through whatever that is. Portal, I don't know what it is. But you can see the craft.
They were portals, yeah.
And so we now think that that's some kind of transportation portal that was nearly invisible in our sky that she caught on the camera.
Well, some people that do DMT, they always talk about a grid, or is it acid? I don't know, but they talk about a grid, and that looks like a grid to me. So.
Okay, all of these things are our surveillance craft, but let's look at this one because that's nearly clear as day. That's the most focused one of these we've seen, and that thing is flying north or south of our house and caught on our cameras multiple times every week. I don't know what they're doing, but they're definitely looking at us.
So when they pass your property, does he stop?
No, they just fly through.
Sometimes they'll flash. They won't actually move. They'll flash and disappear. Now, if we're out and if I see it with my own eyes, they'll appear as a bright, not an orb, but this bright metal ball, I guess, and hover, and then it'll float and then just go away. But it's not an orb. I don't know what it is.
Does it make any noise? Any noise come from him?
No, when we're out there, I don't hear a noise. Now, when they're on video, it sounds like a radio station changing frequencies.
Right. Yeah, like the old style dial tone thing. Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes we'll hear like this weird tapping, and sometimes we'll hear a weird whistle, but nobody's out there. It's interesting.
So one of the clearest craft we got. Okay, but this thing here, it's creepy. Let me see if I can blow it up enough. No, I can't blow it up anymore. I'll redo the photo later because I didn't realize how bad it was. But anyway, so let me do this.
So do you get any cryptid sightings with all these crafts going over?
Oh, yeah. So that thing that was floating through the sky looked like a cryptid sighting. Okay, so this picture right here is, sorry.
Yeah, you said about the plane, then it started flapping its wings, and it looked more like a pterodactyl.
Yeah, talk about that.
It
See an
was
orb? Could you see the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's orbs flying all through it. That happens to us all the time. There you go. That happens to us all of the time.
this is it's like it's all year, summer and then freezing cold. So
It's not bugs.
we already, like, I used to get excited, but he's like, no, it's a bug. So we know what to look for now.
Yeah.
Thank God he's a scientist, because I just, everything I'd see, like, ooh, look at this.
Okay, can you see the 3 flashes that are happening right here?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So what she does is she sees stuff like this, and she will grab the frame that has one of them in it and then zooms in on it. And there are these craft. This is the craft, and then she zoomed in it so you could see some kind of weird window in it. I mean, this is like bloody every day, Andy. And this one right here, there was a flash in the sky, just like the other one, and she zoomed in on the flash, and whatever this thing is what it was. That is a completely resolved, not blurry image. So they flashed, stood still, so we could get a frame, and then vanished. So they're just there to show this stuff to us for whatever reason.
So they're allowing you to do this?
Oh yeah. I communicate with them. When it first started, they looked like little stars moving around, and then each month they would get closer and closer and closer. And I didn't know. Well, sometimes I would get nervous about it, and they would back off and go away for a few days until I said, okay, I'm ready. So they're very aware of how you feel and what you think and what your intentions are.
Yeah.
All right, I want people to concentrate right here, because what's going to happen in a minute. See that flash?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you saw the flash, because this is what the flash was. Now look at us with something.
I was looking at the pictures when you had it on multi-screen.
Yep.
And
so look, but this is what it looks like. Look, does that look like a mummy?
So creepy.
It's a mummy, and that was a flash in the sky with whatever this is behind it. Portal? I don't know what that is.
That's
anyway,
definitely
you get the idea.
Yeah.
And
before you go to the next, I was going to say, before you go to the next one, do you want to go for a quick break?
Yes, we can. Sure. This is
all right.
About our brews and our visits later.
Yeah. If you want to leave that one up,
sure.
And then we'll go straight into that. Right. We're going to go for a break for about, don't know, can't see it. 1 minute 20. So, right. See you guys soon.
See ya.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
All right, we are back. Oh, 2/3 of us.
Yeah, she'll be here in a second. So
yeah, that's fine. We can wait, or you can carry on. It's your call, mate.
Yeah, she's coming. Oh, she's got a drink in her hand. Hang on, let her. So, I was born in Lebanon, Tennessee. Yeah. And by the time I was 1 year old, I had cerebral encephalitis. And so I nearly died. I had a cardiac arrest 3 times.
Oh.
So these days, if I could remember any of it, we would say I had 3 NDEs before I was 1 year old.
Wow.
So when I was 3, I woke up, went out to where my mother was, and she was hanging out with her friends, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, whatever. And I walked over and grabbed a book out of the little wall library and started reading to her. And it was not for children. It was a regular book. And no one had ever taught me how to read. So all sorts of this kind of stuff went on until I was 10 years old. And I suddenly mentally exploded. And I built amateur radio equipment, got my amateur radio license, built my own telescope and used it for years, and memorized Grey's Anatomy from cover to cover. And my entire family thought I was going to be a doctor because of it. They all wanted me to be a doctor. Okay, so I went to college with my girlfriend. We both of us from the same hometown. We went to the same college. And I picked her up one Friday evening to drive us home for the weekend, and we had an hour and a half of missing time. 2 weeks later, I had no longer wanted to be a doctor. I dropped out of that college and moved to the engineering college in the state and majored in engineering, physics, and mathematics. And that's been my life ever since. So all these weird experiences seem to have led to the life I'm now leading, except in the latter part of my career, I went and visited Chris Bledsoe, and the thing followed me home, and I've led the weird life ever since, culminating when Lala reached out to me in April of 2022 and said, your mother is passing, and if you want, I'll give you a reading, which later she died. I got past that, and she gave me the reading. And before the reading was over, I was totally convinced of her ability, because she said things to me that my mother told her that there's no way anyone but my mother would know.
Wow.
And so that began our working relationship and then personal relationship.
And I saw Bob when he was still in Alabama. After he saw Chris, he showed me a video of these 3. They weren't quite orbs. They were brighter and like a metallic-y. There's 3 of them that floated around. It was almost like they were inspecting him.
They were in triangular shape. It was a triangular lights at 3 corners of a craft, but everything but the lights were invisible. So at first I thought they were bugs that my infrared camera was illuminating. So I put it on long record, and I walked outside, and as I got around the corner, I could see them with my own eyes, including there was blurriness where the 3 lights were. As soon as they noticed me, they took off straight up and were gone.
Yeah. Oh.
So after we got together, we began having experiences in the house, including this business here of her stuff being done to her in the middle of the night. I'll let her tell you about it.
Yeah, when I have a bruise, I get a bruise every couple months.
Yeah.
Every 6 months, I don't know. It all depends. But anyway, before the bruise, I wake up with a bruise. The activity outside gets very hectic. So and then I'll have the bruise, and then they'll kind of slow down, almost go away. They never quite go away. And so I know when the activity ramps up, I'm going to wake up with a bruise eventually. And one time, that night, there was something that was on the camera out front, and it looked like a bunch of fog was around this weird being. It had big eyes, all head, you could see the torso, and it just stared at the camera. And that's the night that I woke up, or the morning I woke up with a bruise. And he slept a couple hours over, and he usually never does that. He's really weird about waking up at a certain time in the morning. So it's just, I don't know what's doing it. I do feel that the roof that always lights up behind us, it's always this one same person. He's tested it with cars and different lights. Like, you can't make this light on your own. I think they're abducting this person too. I don't have the courage to say anything, but I know one time we saw on a video, they lit up the roof and something, it looked like a weird helicopter. It was sideways and then up and down real quick, and then the light happened, and all of a sudden it looked like a body bag sucked up of it and went into the helicopter and it disappeared. So I think that might have been the person. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
We're
I've not
weird.
heard
I know.
that before, but that's creepy. Just that on its own.
I think, I don't know much about my labs, but I do know, Bob knows a lot, that government and aliens work together sometimes, and I think that's happening sometimes around here. But
yeah.
So this is me walking into the front of the house, and it'll play over and over again. So after I walk into the house, look just above the sun, and you will see what I'm talking about. Right in here. Watch. Flash.
Oh yeah.
That happened. That's happened multiple times with me walking in the house. This cloud, we don't know what that was, but it was really weird.
It was a UFO.
I believe, because you tell your UFO story while I find the picture I want to find. And these are me on the back porch with our telescope, and look at the orbs flying all around us. That happens all the time. And there's the house. So there's the house being lit up from above. Yeah. And you see the flash. Yeah. If you'll look, the house lights up, and right after that, you will see a flash right above the house. There's the light.
Yep.
There's the flash. And that's some kind of craft. And I have done everything I can all through this area to rule out lights from the street. The way the houses are laid out, there's thick trees between the houses because they're right up next to each other. And no light can come in from the street and get on. It's being illuminated from above. And who knows what this is? I have no idea what this is. Is that wild?
Can we go back to the video?
Yeah, we're going to go. I'm doing the best I can going through. Okay, this, I don't know whether you will be able to hear this or not. Anyway, that's the camera that went, and right around here it says, hello, Xander. The audio is very low, and it may not play. But anyway, this is the camera that goes light to dark by somebody turning the light on, and then a little wavering, and then the sound says, this is what I was trying to get. Okay. So this is my tri-field meter, and you'll notice that the button is set to RF because I'm looking for something transmitting.
Right there. We found it. Okay.
And that is almost 0.2 milliwatts being emitted from whatever it is in her skull, probably in her pineal gland. Right. But I mean, it's just hard to figure out how this stuff could happen. It's just, it's just not fake because what can I say? It's just how it is. And we've done multiple things now to show how this stuff is real.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, no person emits that much radio frequency power. And it was 0.2 milliwatts coming right from the center of her skull, right in front of where the pineal gland is.
That is ridiculous amount.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. People can go to our Facebook pages. They can view that at their discretion, at their will, whenever they want to. They can ask us anything we want to. We are completely transparent. We'll tell them how it was made, etc. And, people have asked me why I don't get better cameras. I could, but I'm getting all the stuff I can handle.
Yeah.
There are other things I want to do, like do the RF transmissions that Jimmy Blanchett's doing while we record the sky to see if we can't absolutely perfectly reproduce what he's doing out in Arizona.
Yeah. You'll know Costa McCrea's son, won't you?
Oh, yeah. And his wife is one of Lala's best friends, calls her on the phone all the time.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because when he's been on the show, the photos that he sent, there's one where he stood there, he's just waving his arms around like that. He said he took like 3 photos. The first one and the last one, nothing on it. And the middle one, just hundreds of orbs, like he's surrounded by bubbles. And you zoom in and you can see what look like faces inside the orbs. It's just madness. It's like, how can that just be nothing, then everything, and nothing again?
If people go on that folder, they can see her shooting these videos in our bedroom of all these orbs all around her. She'll wave her hand up and they'll fly in and out of her hand, fly in and out of a portal that's in the wall. Yeah, it's just constant here.
Do you feel the orbs when they touch her? Is there any energy coming from them?
I don't. My ears will ring, but I don't physically feel them touch me. No.
No.
Which is probably good because it probably freaked me out a little bit.
Well, I feel
Yeah.
that I feel I'm touched in this house all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
So is it good vibes, bad vibes, down the middle?
I think it's mainly good. We've had a couple black mist things that I got out of here. And it listened, it did leave when I staged and all the other stuff.
We did all the usual things, but it was down in the basement, and we could caught it clear as day on our security camera that's down in the basement because we had this feeling. And since we've done the saging and that thing's gone, we haven't even looked at the video camera in the basement because we just feel there's nothing down there.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Right. I got a couple of questions for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So this is from Andy Byrne. And he's just saying, I thought you'd been to Skinwalker Ranch, Bob, and you was howled of something. I thought you heard Grant Cameron talk about it.
Wasn't Skinwalker Ranch, as I have not been there.
Okay.
But I've had multiple things happen to me, and Grant Cameron has interviewed us, and we've been on multiple ones of his interviews, and been so. Grant founded this. Let me tell you the story. Grant founded this. Grant founded this orb group, and he called it Orbology. And we didn't know until like a month in that when he found out the two of us were together, one a scientist that had worked for the U.S. intelligence community and other a medium and experiencer, he decided to form this Orbology group because he thought we were going to get somewhere with figuring some stuff out. And so he founded this Orbology group, and now it's got hundreds of members. And in the first month, from all over the world, that group collected over 1 million pieces of orb evidence, and we put on a show. So, and that was like 30 people had over 1 million pieces of orb evidence from the orbs that they have had in their lives, their entire lives.
Wow!
And some of them are unreal. They're like the size of their yards, the size of a farm field. I mean, these orbs are huge, some of them.
See, I've got one photo and one video with orbs on it. Well, the photo's got one orb. It's a still from a video, but you can see it just moving. That's orange. And there's another one where I'm opening the wardrobe door. I don't know why I was doing a video. I was just doing a video. I think for the sake of it. I think I got a new mobile or something, and I was just trying the camera out. And as you open the door, you can see a bit of dust, but I sent the video to a medium that I know, and she looked at it and said, yeah, there's definitely, as you open the door, the orb comes out, it stops, goes back around, and then goes through the crack where the wardrobe door meets the side of the frame.
Wow.
And then it vanishes. And they're the only two that I've ever picked up.
We have his friend John Yost, who made the movie Alien Abduction Answers with Deb Shakti. He recently passed away from pancreatic cancer. Oh. And Deb and I were involved with a lot of other people in doing this big fund to raise money for his treatment. And it worked for a long time, almost beat it, and then he lost the battle. So shortly after that, we had this gigantic orb caught on the camera in our garage and we just knew it was him. She did anyway. She certainly knew it was him.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was. I asked him to show himself, so I knew he was okay. And a couple minutes later, he looked like he was, well, the orb was twirling. I've never seen one do that before.
Never.
And it was different
Wow.
shape, and it was really thick and big. And so I contacted Debs, and I sent her the video, and I said, he's okay. He's saying hello. Because
Yeah.
they loved each other. They were best friends, so I wanted to try to cheer her up somehow.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
featured in that movie because she is the person that let him know he was not crazy, that he had these experiences because she did his regression.
Yeah, well, Debs, she was on. I think it's a week before I did the 24-hour one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I need to get her
She's
back on.
amazing. She's done both of our regressions.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you have regression? How did you find it when you had it done?
Deb's regression is unlike any other.
Yeah,
It's extremely gentle, and she frees your mind to go where it wants to go. And she lets it go 3 different places, and the 3 different things are to the 2 are first where you want to go, and the 3rd is to talk to your higher consciousness, your higher self. And each of us did the same stages with her, and each of us had different experiences. And the first 2, this is me personally, first 2, I wondered if I was hypnotized. I couldn't figure out where these stories were coming from, but I didn't feel like I was hypnotized. The 3rd one, where she let my higher ego, higher consciousness, whatever, take over, wow. I felt like I had receded into the background, gone into the closet, and closed the doors while whatever it was talking through me. I couldn't see, or I couldn't do anything but hear. And that was wild. I knew then I was hypnotized.
Yeah. You had no control of what was going on.
I had 0 control.
And how was you when you had yours done, Lala?
It was nice. She gave us breathing techniques. So days before this happened, we had to practice breathing and sounds, and which I was surprised. I was worried that we would just jump into something, and but it was nice.
Was you not worried of doing it at first in case it brought something that you didn't want to find out?
She's too gentle. It didn't go that far into it.
No.
It was just like, what were you in a past? Like, were you an alien in a past life? Or it wasn't traumatic or anything.
But both of us want the sledgehammer. We're now ready for the sledgehammer.
Right.
The full blown, tell us exactly what's happened to the extent we can remember it.
Right. So you're going for that next.
I'd
So
like
are you mentally prepared for that? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
I think I am. I'm stronger than what I realized with all the bullcrap that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, and look, if we how do we write a fulsome, detailed, cover it all book if we don't know all that? Now,
Well,
people will take the part that's gotten in regression, and half the people will claim it's fake memories. But I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want to put it down in detail.
Well, the thing is, even if it's a fake memory, then it's got to have come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. But so where's that somewhere that it's come from?
Well, one of the finest psychiatrists in the history of psychiatry was John Mack. And he went, these are real memories. They are not fake. And the people are not crazy. They have no signs of emotional disturbances.
There you go, then.
Do you want to get it done?
I don't know. I know I've got missing time. I don't know. I'm not an abductee. I'm a contactee.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, I'm guessing I know what the difference is. But do I really want to know what went on? Because it's never all the other than 2, possibly 3 encounters that I've had, I've never felt anything negative. two of them I thought that was it. I thought it was game over. It was that scary. I was that scared. One, I just felt like I was pinned down in the chair, couldn't get up, and my heart was starting beating fast. I was in my mate's house, and I could not physically get out the chair. I've been hypnotized before, and it kind of felt like that. It's like you're trying to move, but I could move my head, my neck, but couldn't move from the neck down. And it felt like if I don't get out of this chair, I'm going to die. And it probably took me it felt like hours. It's probably like a minute or something. There was that one, and there's another one where I was in the bedroom getting ready. I could hear growling coming from under the bedroom window. So the window opened horizontally. But I wouldn't mind. We lived in the middle of a housing estate, like 50 miles north of London. So it's kind of rural, but there's a few villages and that. Not that far from the city centre. But where there is no animals or anything that make that sort of noise. It was. I wouldn't even say it was a big dog. If it was a big dog, this dog was 7 foot and like 1,000 pound.
On steroids.
The noise, yeah, that's the noise it was making. And I just felt like, because it was on the first floor, if I'd have put my hand on my head at the window, whatever was there was going to drag me out.
You put your hand on the window?
No, if I had. Yeah, no, I'm not. Might be brave. I'm not stupid. There is a difference, but yeah, there was no way I was having a look to see what it was. I wanted to, but my gut feeling was saying, if you do that, this is probably going to be the last thing you ever do.
Yeah.
So it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, sometimes I didn't know the difference between a evil spirit and an alien, because or I think I had an experience with the skinwalker, but I'm not sure. After my dad passed, I had a really scary dream of a big coyote on my back porch at night, and it was intimidating, and so I woke up from the dream. And at the time, I smoked cigarettes, so I went out to my back porch, and the same coyote was sitting in the same spot on my porch. I had never seen one before. We didn't have coyotes in this part of Maryland, ever. I've never seen one.
No.
And it looked at me, and then it turned around, and it ran back into the forest. And I don't know. I know that I looked it up, and they're supposed to mean like tricksters or something like that. But and then a whole host of other crap started happening, but I don't know what that was. I don't. Was it a coyote for real, or was it something pretending to be? I don't know.
That's what you can only say what you've seen.
Right.
To what it actually is, that's another story completely.
There's in some of her experiences she's told me, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that she's been subjected to screen memories many times in her life.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Like this, she has this one abduction experience where she thinks she's in a barn, but she's laying on a table like in an operating theater or a laboratory. And that's your story. You can tell whatever you want about it.
It was just it was scary, and there were lots of other women laying on each side of me. And things were happening to us, but the thing that was doing it was scaly and really tall and really like big, thick, I guess ripple muscles. Anyway, but it had like a bone mask with horns on, and it was something, and it terrified. I woke up, it terrified me. And I know maybe like months later, I actually woke up to something really having sex with me, but I didn't see anything, and my legs were closed, so I wasn't really sure what was going on, and I didn't talk about it until eventually when I started talking to Bob more about this. I didn't talk about any of my experiences, honestly. For some reason, I would just shut down, so.
It was easier for her to deal with, but I said, I want you to know that other people have experiences like this. Yeah. And I would show her and tell her and say, you're not alone in this.
No,
This happens to
definitely.
lots of people. It's different for men and women, but it happens to both of them. And I
Yeah,
just told her after that, she
I
opened.
know of personally a good friend that it happened to him, similar sort of thing.
Oh my God.
He felt like what was happening,
Yeah.
but yeah. It's
Well, when
just,
you're paralyzed or whatever under control, what can you do?
But that's
I'm
why,
guessing nothing.
right. I was in shock, I guess. I don't know. I just laid there and I'm looking at nothing, but I'm feeling everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to. I'm not as scared anymore. So now I want to know: was it a reptilian? Was it an incubus? Was it a somewhat of a possession? I want to know about this. So I've been trying to talk to demonologists and other things like that. Nobody
Did
really
you
has answers.
did you get in touch with Nathaniel?
I emailed him. I
Yeah.
forgot to check my email. I never check my email. I'm
He
sorry.
will have emailed you back. I did tell him that
Okay.
he was gonna contact him, so
She is
I'll check.
awful about reading email. If it's text,
he will have
chat,
replied.
but email, she's awful.
Yeah.
I'll message him and double check and see if he has
Okay.
emailed you back. But yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good guy to go to, 100%.
Yeah. I do want to know. Maybe because of all my grieving, that my energy was low and something decided to mess with me. I don't know, but that's what I want to figure out.
Yeah. Cool. Right, I've got a question for Bob. So during your service or time in the CIA, did you ever come across any investigations that were, I suppose, non-human accounts?
I have had no experience inside the intelligence community with craft, aliens, weird things. I was never part of the weird thing. I was really a very, very technical person. Now I did operations in the field. And if people go look at my evidence, they can see a picture the captain of the USS Hampton took of me on the conning tower on a submarine. So I've done stuff, but it's I would not be on a crash retrieval team because I'm not like a Navy SEAL or a contractor for hire. So I've just never done it. So near the end of my career, I began to hear rumors that stuff was being shown around, and I got shown some stuff, photos, etc.
Yeah.
And that I probably was not supposed to see, but I did anyway because that happens. That stuff happens with people that know each other, and so it's called rumor intelligence. So I had all sorts of rumor intelligence, and that's when I engaged reading Richard Dolan, watching Grant Cameron, going seeing Chris Bledsoe, and that's when my experiences opened wide open. It wasn't until I heard a podcast being done by Grant Cameron that I even remembered I had missing time when I was 18. And I called my old girlfriend and said, "Do you remember a time when?" And she went, "Oh yeah, we missed an hour and a half. My mother was so mad at you, she didn't know what to do." Because she thought we had just, and I just said, "We got lost. Sorry, we found our way back." But we were an hour and a half late. So anyways, after I saw this stuff, stuck my nose in, the phenomenon ran over me.
Yeah, and it's been like that since.
Ever since.
It's just it. See, I thought I had a lot of stuff happen where I used to live. That was like daily. I like 3-4 things pretty much every day. That's what it'd average out as. From full body apparitions to the growling UFOs, stuff moving in the house, disembodied voices, all sorts, just constantly going on. But you guys, it's like a million times the amount of energy that I've had throughout my life compared.
I don't know why. Honestly, I have no clue.
That's the reason we need the full-blown regression. We want answers.
And I'd like to know why I have an implant. Am I somebody's pet? I mean,
See, I pulled,
I was like paying my rent or something, you
Yeah.
know?
I pulled what I believe is an implant out of my nose a few years ago.
Hmm.
It was like the size of a grain of rice.
Mine too. Yes.
Oh.
Same. Yes.
But it's in her
My
femur,
leg,
in
yeah.
her thigh, her left
It's a
thigh.
piece of rice.
Now mine was like there, right up
Oh my
at the top
god.
there.
So
I just
right here in her eye, it's hard to see. There's a scoop
Yeah.
mark where they put whatever it is in her head.
Yeah, I wasn't born with it. It just
It's a scoop mark
appeared there.
right by her eye.
wow.
You're the second person I heard say that they had an implant there.
I
Yeah, and it was a man
literally
too.
woke up in the middle of the night. My hand, I was literally tearing the inside of my nose apart to get this thing out.
Mhm.
And I managed to get it. I put it on the bedside table. Woke up in the morning, expecting to be. You can smell blood. Expected to like hand covered in blood and the pillow and the covers, and it was a white unit. And you know when you're that tired, it's like I just need to get this out, and I got it out, and I used all my energy that I had to get this thing out. I woke up in the morning, nothing, no blood on me. It's like I'd had a shower in the middle of the night and don't even know.
Oh, they put it back.
And then there was nothing on this. I was pulling the carpet up. I was going between the floorboards to look for this, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think they put it back in you.
Nothing.
I
I
think they
don't
put
know
it
where.
back.
Wow. That's interesting. How old are you now? I'm 42.
I'm 51.
So what? I thought, wow, you look really young.
Thank you. Not as young as Bob.
I think you're around the same age as my friend Brandon. He's a
I
shaman.
was born in 73, beginning in 73.
And he's got a very similar story to yours.
Oh.
And I'll give you his information. He's on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah. Yeah, please.
That would be
See, this is a weird thing. So up until that point, I was around about 35. So no, that'd be 16 years ago. So probably about 8, 9 years ago, I took it out.
Okay.
And up until that point, I'd only had two major operations. One of them was removing me tonsils when I was 6.
Yeah.
The other one was different, shall we say? Well,
Okay.
I had a vasectomy basically,
Mhm.
and that was it. And I had that one when that was 2010, so 14 years ago.
So you
And
are
this,
adopting then? If you
sorry,
If you got an implant, you've been abducted.
Yeah.
That's more than
Yeah.
contactee.
You're excited, aren't you?
I am, but I just can't get my head around it.
I know. I think a lot of us
That-
have, and we don't know.
But
I think
they don't do that kind of surgery. From all the reading I've done in your bedroom, you are taken aboard something or taken someplace and it's done there. That's an abduction. Because you really didn't give them permission.
no, I don't remember seeing or speaking. But you know Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, we know.
Well, she did the remote view for me. So I'll give her the location and the time of year, like for 2 different locations. She did the date, or she write, they write it down. So I printed it off. She sent it as an email, and I laminated it. So then I've got a hard copy of this as well as email. So I've printed a couple of copies off, and so every so often I'll read through it. But I do it so I'll put my hands over the paper and try and get a feeling of, like, over the data and try and get a feeling from it to see what was going on. There's a person that told me a way of doing it, and as I'm doing it, I'm getting a picture of a tall grey type alien, but on the verge of looking a bit reptilian.
Oh.
And I just kept I searched for about a week before I found an image that was close to what the image I was getting in my mind.
So is it like
I
a
think
hybrid?
it's. Sorry?
What is it? A hybrid type of alien?
I don't even know. It didn't. When I seen the picture, when I seen the image, because it's just obviously it's computer generated. It's not a
Yeah, sure.
photograph or anything like that. But it just kind of like it gave me shivers. Like, ooh, it was that instant knowledge that I think that's what it was. I'm 99% certain, but I can't be 100% because I don't remember any of it.
Right.
So you've exhibited some sort of psi abilities,
I don't know what that means. Sorry.
psychic style abilities.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so I mean, look, when you put
yeah,
your hand over that writing and you let your mind go free, you stop being analytical about it and just let whatever it is flow.
yeah. Just like it comes to me.
That's remote viewing.
Oh,
That is remote viewing. That's how it's done. You meditate or whatever you do to put
yeah,
yourself in the frame of mind that you stop letting your analytical brain control everything.
ya.
You don't try to interpret. You just let it flow. That's remote viewing. And so you were remote viewing whatever it was.
Right. Yeah, because it came to me. But I have had same as what you were saying before, Lala, about the dreams, where I'll be out and be in different places because I'm from the north of England originally, but I'll be dreaming about that area, and then there'll be all like these Star Wars and UFOs and everything going off in the sky, and this same bloke comes out of nowhere, don't know who he is, never seen him. He's going bald, he's grey around the side, he's got a grey beard, like mine, but grey. Yeah, I'd say he's got to be in his 70s at least, but he looks like he's in his 70s. Doesn't look 21. And he'll see me, and as soon as he sees me, he'll stop what he's doing and he'll shout to me or shout at me. He goes, "Oi, you're not supposed to be able to see any of this."
Dude.
And at that moment, I'm like, I've got to F off away from here.
I'm glad you said something because recently I found out on Reddit and also on TikTok by accident, a lot of people will have dreams and it'll turn to like a lucid dream, which I think is just astral projection while you're sleeping, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, they figure out that they're dreaming and they ask for the time or the date, and all of a sudden the characters in the dream turn to them and go, "You're not supposed to be here." And will either kill them out of the dream or push them out of the dream.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all over the world. All
oh
over
my
the
God.
world.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I didn't. I just found
Well,
out.
you better hurry up because the TikTok bill passed in the United States and all of our allies will follow suit. So TikTok is about to go into quiet time until they stop sending the data.
See, and this is the other thing as well. I had another dream. I've only had it once, but I remember it. So this is what we're saying about it not being a dream. I'm in a craft. I'm sat on the floor. Everything's white, like a brilliant white. The floor goes into the wall. The wall then it goes into the glass window. There's no seam on anything. There's no lights, but the room's lit.
Mm.
And it's like there's a table in the middle. It looks like a big bar stool, that sort of table. So the floor goes into the bar stool, goes up, and then you've got the top of it, and there's a big glass. It's got like drinking bottle. It's similar to that size, but taller and wider, and it just kind of blends into it. But I can't remember if there's anything inside what this glass vase or jar or whatever it was. Don't know if there's any colour. And I know I was sat on the floor because as I'm looking, I'm level with about probably 2/3 of the height of the table, but I could see the top of it. I couldn't see if there's anything flat on top of it. I wouldn't have been able to see it. I could only see this because it was raised higher than the actual table itself, and it's all brilliant white. Didn't see any planets out the window, but I could see stars. It was up in space somewhere.
Oh wow.
There was other people in the room with me, but I couldn't see them. I just knew they were there. Or those other beings. I couldn't tell you if it was human or something else. No idea.
Wow.
Wow.
I think that's an abduction.
So do I. Yeah, I know you don't want to face it, but I'm just telling you, you know. Because that's where the implants are done.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's some people that take out their implants and they end up with another implant, but it's hard. It's shaped different and harder to get out.
Yeah. Well, this is what Jessica said. She went, "You've either had an implant, you've got an implant, or you will be getting an implant."
Yes.
And this was before I'd mentioned the nose thing, the rice.
The one thing I'm certain is that remote viewing, you can with work easily see the past. You can with work see what might happen in the future.
Yeah.
I just want to know why they're doing it.
Have you ever asked?
No, I don't. I want to know, but
She just won't get pushy with them.
I'm afraid I'm going to piss somebody off. Honestly, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but surely they're doing that to you anyway. So why not give them a bit of what they're giving you?
Yeah, I don't think they let me talk too much because I would chew their ass out.
Yeah, but this was the other thing. Just quickly, because we are going to have to end it in a minute. So we had David Holdrian on from the UK. He does BUFON, which is Birmingham UFO network, and they did a case. You've probably seen it on. I think you was watching that show, weren't you, Lala? Last Wednesday. I noticed she came in the chat, and it's where a woman, she sinks into the bed. She actually set the video up, and they think it was an abduction case. Now I was talking to mate Simon, who's in the chat tonight, and he's had loads of stuff going as well. But when I was younger, when all this started, when I first started to happen, when I had the UFO encounters and light beings and all that kind of stuff, when I used to go to bed, I'd lie in bed and it'd feel like I'd be constantly sinking into the bed and drifting. But I just thought that was me going to sleep. The way he was explaining it, it's like I'd be in it and it's just like a constant sinking feeling, going further and further and further away from where I'm supposed to be. But it didn't feel bad. There's nothing negative about it at all.
Right.
And that was, I'd say that was around, and I do remember this, and a lot of people don't. I was around 2.5, 3 years old when it first started, because I remember I was still wearing nappies.
Oh, wow.
I remember.
I
remember as clear as day, getting in my parents' car, driving from Tennessee to Alabama to our new home when I was 1 year old. People can have memories of when they're quite young.
I have a memory when I was 5 months old of being sat on my dad's knee. He was at a castle in Wales. And I sat on my dad's knee. He had the newspaper open and he had an orange, it's either orange or blue, like Tommy Tippy cup. And if it was either orange with milk in it or it was blue with orange juice in it. I can not remember, but it was, and I spoke to my family. There was a lot of my family on that holiday, and like, how can you remember that? Because there's a photograph of it, but you can't see. You can just see my legs sticking out because my dad's got the newspaper up. And I was like, you couldn't even guess that because the newspaper's there. There's no other photos of me on that day.
When you try to recover memory with the tippy cup with the orange juice and the milk in it, please video it so we can see you suck it out of the tippy cup.
But I'm sure it was an orange cup with milk in it. I'm sure. I'd say 99 that, 1% orange and blue.
My memories are from 1 to 10 years old. I can't believe all the stuff I can remember.
Yeah. I've probably got about 10 memories from like under the age of 5. After that, other than that, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a lot of memories from my most of my life, but anyway.
Yeah.
I had a missing period of memories right after I did some crazy stuff beginning in October of 2001 for several months. Then I came home, I had PTSD, and I lost some memories.
Wow.
I used to be a pothead, and I lost a lot of memories.
We're waiting for them to legalize pot.
Not any. No, I my anxiety is way too bad for that shit.
Just move to, is it Seattle where it's legal?
I can't forever because I've signed all these agreements. So until the federal government decriminalizes marijuana, I can't do it, no matter where I am.
No matter what state you go to.
No matter where in the world I am. It's
all right.
To do it.
Wow. Well, thank you both so much for coming on and sharing all of this.
This was nice.
Honestly,
I enjoyed the 24 hours, but this was better.
Yeah, but I didn't know where this was going to go, because obviously I spoke to you guys a couple of times before, but didn't really to get like a one-to-one with you. So I knew you had things happen and go on, but didn't realize it was to this extent.
We feel comfortable going on, and our job is to be transparent and help with self-disclosure. So this is how we do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just say one conspiracy thing really quick about the dream?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that something. So we, when we dream, it feels really real, right? Well, how do we know? I was stupid. How do we know that this isn't a dream? And so when we are dreaming and we realize we're dreaming and something forces us out of it and doesn't like that we realize it, what if they're like in control somehow? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because look, I believe in the Mandela effect. I remember things a little differently. And I think, what if something took control and wants us all sleeping and we're not supposed to wake up? Anyway, there you go. You're welcome.
Any great conspiracies, I only need to wait 5 minutes and I'll hear about them from her.
I mean, it's interesting. I don't know.
Right. Just before you go, it's more of a message than a question from Penny Van.
Oh, we know Penny.
Yeah.
All right. He said, Bob and Lala, have you seen any of the cam orbs that Jane and Gerald of Midwest Night Watchers have on their channel? It's crazy how much orb activity they get. So they've got, same as you, they've got cameras set up outside and it's constantly recording. So they've got a YouTube channel as well. It's Midwest Night Watchers. So Gerald is...
have to check it out because, thank you, Penny, because we are not aware of them.
All right. I can send you the links because I'm friends with them both.
Please do.
Yeah.
Gerald does Midwest Night Watchers and Jane just Chiro Sounds.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I'll send you links to both of them, and I'm sure they'll both appreciate you guys getting in touch and checking it out.
Sure. We'll share our stuff with them.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'll just put that up. Where's it gone?
But Lala Bright and Bob McGuire on Facebook, we have a shared photographic video library called Things Caught on Our Cameras that anybody can look at because it's public.
Ah, excellent. Yeah, if you can send me the link to that, I can add it in the description on here on YouTube. Yeah, is that all right?
I'm sending it to you right now.
Perfect. I'll get that done tomorrow, if that's okay. It's just it's getting late here now, and I've got to be up early for work again. The downside of doing this. But no, thank you both so much for coming on, and please do come on again. I was going to say, if you want to come on again, get
sure.
Ed Shakti to come on, and Earl Grey again, and all the other UFO crew.
That'd be cool.
That'd be very, very cool.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah,
And if
I'll-
you ever do like a paranormal thing, I'll go in on that too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She's developed a keen interest in things paranormal.
Well, I started with that. I didn't start with aliens. So.
Well, I actually got this the other day. I'll just show you quickly. The prices of these have gone from like stupid amount of money down to next to nothing. These were selling at like £50 and they're like less than a tenner now.
Wow.
I know. And that's Amazon.
We have a K2. We have a K2. We have a K2.
So I've got that one, but I've got a tri-field meter like yours, a digital one.
Yeah.
So I've been using that for, and I want to get one with the lights, so when I'm videoing it, you can actually see if it's going up or not.
So so the REM pods, Andy, one more thing, I'll shut up and let you shut it out. I despise how much they're charging for those things.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So let me tell you, you remember the old theremin where you move your hand up and down and it plays like an organ?
Oh, yeah.
All that's in those things. I got the little circuit for $4. I'm going to put one together and tell everybody how to do it. I might even make them and sell them for $10.
Yeah, why not?
It's ridiculous.
Why not?
It's ridiculous.
Right. Thank you both again so much for coming on. I'm just going to end on a video. It's something else I purchased this week. I need to go and pick it up. So I've not got it yet, but I will be doing hopefully in the next month or so. I don't know if it's real. For me, it doesn't matter if it's real or not. But I'm going to play this video and then I'm going to play the outro video and then end the show. Okay. So this is a large, like a 700-gram jar of coffee. It's in a glass jar. You can message me, or you guys can tell me after the show what you think it is or isn't. Anyone else, you can let me know on Friday. So we're back here. Oh, yeah, so back here Friday at 8:30. But don't forget, tomorrow I'm on Paranormal Highway with Eric Wood at 10 p.m. till 11 p.m. tomorrow night. So don't miss that one. So, yeah, I'm going to play this, and then you guys can tell me on Friday what you think it is. So take care, everyone, and goodbye.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. So that's that. You decide. I don't know. So that's it. And this is where the paranormal becomes normal. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.